We're stepping out onto the streets of Seoul. One of the most well-photographed, well-filmed cities today. It's time to explore the essential districts that have shaped our glamorized vision of Seoul. The city of Seoul is always thinking up new ways to wow visitors and engage its locals. The largest metropolitan center in South Korea, it's been building on itself for over 2,000 years. Today, it's the primary part of the Seoul capital area that stretches from Incheon City to Gyeonggi Province, making it the third largest metropolitan area in the world. A long-standing makeover, Seoul is that mix of reinvention and tradition that rivals some of the most exciting urban destinations in Asia. From shopping to dining, lodgings and attractions, the leisure industry in Seoul can become a bit overwhelming. One foolproof way to get most out of your trip is to hit the streets and cover them by the district. In this special travel guide, we've picked out 5 top locations for your Seoul survival. Seoul is divided up into districts, or gu, that are then further divided into neighborhoods called dong. These neighborhoods offer a variety of experiences concentrated in smaller areas that are ideal to enjoy Seoul on foot. Starting off with Samcheong-dong, a historic tourist corridor that's matched with a host of landmarks, museums, art galleries, and boutiques. Samcheong-dong by itself provides a comprehensive experience of Seoul. If you can manage to give yourself a whole day in Samcheong-dong, we suggest you do so. Getting there by bus or by subway may involve a bit of a walk, which accounts for why some prefer to take a guided tour through the neighborhood. Nonetheless, many of the attractions are within 4 to 5 blocks, so it's still best to ready your stride. Traditionally the residential quarter of government officials and the nobility during the Joseon dynasty, it is one of the oldest districts that have maintained its historic charm. Central to this prevailing image is the Bokcheon Hanok village, a section of Samcheong-dong dedicated to its place in history. It is here among the narrow cobble roads and the tapering chummer roofs that we are allowed a picture of the quiet suburb as it would have been centuries past. Hanok villages throughout South Korea espouse the idealized image of traditional life. Amid the busy financial districts that abound, the scene here is low-key. When featured in many Korean soaps, the Hanok village projects a humble way of life. It's interesting to note, though, that Bokcheon is considered one of the most expensive properties you could buy in South Korea. It has been so, presumably, since the Joseon period, due mostly to its location between the two palaces. Today, the Hanok village of Bokcheon is home to foreign diplomats and affluent families. Even still, some doors are open for the public, offering some traditional experiences and a hand in making local crafts. There are about 30 main art museums, small galleries, and craft studios in Samcheong-dong. The ones that are hard to miss are the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, the National Folk Museum, and the Bokcheon Art Center. Huge structures calling for your attention. At either ends of it, you may find yourself in the Gyeongbokgung Royal Palace or the Chadeokgung Royal Palace. With the main roads already busy offering an endless line of exhibits, it's easy don't miss the small roads that hold nuggets of treasured experiences. The side streets in Samcheong-dong draw you in with a promise of darling cafes and novel boutiques. With many side streets weaving in and out of the main roads, it's easy to get disoriented. Luckily, tourist offices usually offer a free map and roving information guides. As for safety, Samcheong-dong is in an affluent residential area, making it generally free from crime. But with so many people walking along the smaller streets, you may forget that these alleys are still for vehicles and bikes, so best to keep a lookout.
City Highway.
Gwanghwamun Square along Sejongdae-ro was opened in 2009. A half-kilometer stretch between a 10-lane roadway. It's the public plaza of Seoul. Built right outside the Gyeongbokgung Palace, the location of the first palace of the Joseon dynasty, it continues to make history as one of the most iconic sites in the capital. Stepping out from the Gyeongbokgung station, every inch of the plaza is brimming with symbolism. Starting off with the imposing figure of Admiral Yi Sun-shin, their hero during the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1592. Followed by the 1223 fountain that commemorates his 12 warships and 23 battles. Further along, a 365-meter waterway with 617 stones meant to denote the long history of Korea. And finally, the statue of King Sejong the Great of Joseon, their great leader who devised the Hangul, or Korean alphabet, and whose face can be seen in the 10,000 won bill, before the Gwanghwamun Gate, the entrance to the Gyeongbokgung Palace. The Gwanghwamun Square is lined on either side by national points of interest as well. The National Museum of Korean Contemporary History on one side, the Sejong Center for Performing Arts on the other. A walk further past the Sejong-ro Junction at the head of the square will take you to the Cheonggi Plaza and the Cheonggicheon Stream, where a restored ancient waterway that stretched from Gwanghwamun Gate all through to Dangdaemun now becomes a softening feature against the hard lines of the buildings that surround it. Walking distance from Gwanghwamun is the Seoul City Hall, where, from its appearance alone, two beautiful structures express the harmony between wisdom and governance. The interior building was built in the 1920s, making it one of the foremost examples for colonial architecture in Korea. Previously the Seoul City Hall, it is today the Metropolitan Library. Behind it is the current Seoul City Hall, whose structure was meant to complement the former while translating traditional elements into a modern design. Images of towering buildings, to protests and commemorations for matters in the past or the present. If there is one thing to take away from the tour in Gwanghwamun, it is perhaps the experience of South Korea's national face. A popular neighborhood, Insadong was once a thriving trading post for art and calligraphy materials in the capital. Today you can get your hands on more than just brushes and ink, as it's awash with antique shops and art galleries. Getting there is a cinch. Taking line 3, stop at Anguk Station. Yes, the same station you take on your way to Samcheong-dong, and take a 10-minute walk toward Anguk-dong Station. Its main tourist road, Insadong-gil, is mainly a pedestrian street, making it convenient to walk along its 700-meter stretch. From handicrafts to hanok dresses, from candy to curios, there's even boutiques and cosmetic stores to spend the day away. And if you're finding it hard to choose, or you're feeling a tad bit lost, there's also free Wi-Fi along Insadonggil, making your shopping search much easier. Much like Samcheongdong, Insadonggil has a web of smaller alleys that take you deeper into tea houses and other shops. Its line of restaurants too is also superb, offering a great variety of choices and snack carts to break the monotony of shopping here. A few blocks down from Insadonggil, following Insadong 11-gil, is the Joseon Temple, led by the Joggi, a Korean Buddhist order. It was founded as far back as 1395. And today the temple complex offers a temple tour and a temple life program, so guests can add a spiritual experience to their visit. Among the restaurants, temples, and great finds, perhaps Insadong's greatest draw is its location. Near Samcheongdong and Gwanghwamun, if you're looking for a welcoming place to settle in, that's comfortable, yet right in the middle of historic and artistic destinations in Seoul, consider staying here. But if unadulterated shopping is all you're after, then there's no place like Myeongdong. The glitz and glamour of Seoul's high life couldn't be better represented than in this district. Against the popularized Gangnam lifestyle, Myeongdong holds its own and boasts of being 9th in the world's most expensive cities. Myeongdong is a major commercial and financial district of South Korea. Its founding dates back to the Joseon dynasty, where it was initially a residential area. As the districts grew, so too did its commercial value. Today, much of the homes have been turned into block after block of buildings owned by big names in business. To get to Myeongdong Station, take Line 4 on the Seoul subway, or take one of the many inner and outer city buses that often pass through Myeongdong. As the financial hub of the capital, the common sight of young men and women dressed for business during the day offers up a contrast when you see them strutting their best for their hard-earned night out. But for most tourists, it's all eyes on the shopping district. Starting from its defining landmark, the Myeongdong Cathedral, enter and lose yourself in the world of endless shopping options, with both local and foreign retail giants tempting you with sale prices. Myeongdong stores are noted for being extra generous with offering freebies and samples. Blocked for pedestrians, you can walk up and down the many roads along the district with ease. At night, a host of snack carts set up shop and waft steaming bowls of Korean delights to allow you a reprieve from the shopping. Romance in rural Seoul. Against the contrast of the classy and clean capital, scenes like these are often the subject of riveting romance themes. Here at the Noryeonjing Fishing Market, just at the outskirts of Seoul, allow us a thrilling look into the unglamorous side of the city. Noryeonjing Fisheries Wholesale Market, or simply Noryeonjing Market in Dongjak-gu, was opened in 1927. To date, it is one of the largest seafood markets in South Korea. Vibrant and abundant, It is unlike many of the places you'd regularly have on a list of destinations to visit in Seoul, which makes it a great stop to enjoy the other side of life in the capital. The appetite for seafood specials in Korea is huge. The number of Korean seafood dishes alone is remarkable, not including the host of fermented fish and seafood side dishes they concoct. Here, stall after stall of tuna and salmon, Russian crabs and sea cucumbers, gathered from different parts of the world, play to your curiosity and appetite. The life of a fisherman as portrayed in films may seem humble and inelegant, but with stalls like this able to rake in 1,000,000 won a day, the image couldn't be further from the truth. Right beside the subway station, it's easy to get to the Noryeonjing station on subway line 1. Open 24/7, the fish market is the secret favorite of Seoul, rich or poor. Get fresh sashimi sliced and plated for you to fit the occasion. Or enjoy the myeongtaeng, the spicy fish stew served up in the restaurants that will help you facilitate from market to table. The market offers an authentic marketplace feel, with bustling patrons and fish sellers calling out the day's catch. With its wealth of history, symbolism, exciting stories, and ease of travel, all in all, these are the reasons why Seoul remains the top destination when heading to South Korea.